Hey YouTubers, Grimmy Dragon here, and once again it's review time, and today we are taking a look at the Transformers Combiner Wars Victorion box set. So yeah, we're looking at the girls who combine into Victorion, and it's quite nice. Sorry, a combiner that I'm going to be using for a comparison shot tipped over on me. So get him up, we'll get to that later. Anyway, on to the combiner set. We got Sky Burst, Dust Up, Rust Dust, Pyromagna, Jump Stream, and Storm Clash. And yeah, the helicopters are near impossible to really tell apart from each other in vehicle mode. It's kind of a good thing I have the instructions right next to me. But in any case, yeah, here they are in their vehicle modes. Very familiar vehicle modes. We've got Alpha Bravo, Breakdown, Dead End, and Hotspot, and Groove. So yeah, very easy to see who these guys were repainted and slightly retooled from. But the retools, with the exception of the helicopters, only show up in robot mode, so we're going to do comparisons then. And yeah, Rust Dust isn't even a retool, she's just a repaint. Anyway, let's take a look. So we got the two helicopters, and yeah, instead of missiles they get fins on their sides, which is fine. Unfortunately, the hands are far more visible with these two, which is a shame, but it's not a deal breaker for them. And yeah, you got your weapons at the bottom, two swords, well, one sword each. The green and red is nice. And here we got Dust Up. Sorry, it's going to be hard for me to remember the names. But yeah, green and red. It's a little bit of silver Cybertronian writing on each of them, which is nice. Got the Autobot badge there. And all looks good, well painted. I like the fact that the rims are painted. Always am fond of that. But yeah, you can see what's what. And yeah, her shield weapon is on top, just pegs in like normal. There's actually a little notch in there and a little something in the middle of here that'll keep it straight, which is good, so you don't have to worry about twisting repeatedly. I like that. Rust Dust, again, just a straight up repaint of Groove. Nice Autobot badge on what probably should be a headlight. But yeah, you got Cybertronian writing. Looks like a little damage on the windshield. And all in all, looks nice. Here's Pyromagna, who's kind of suffering for the set because she's got the whole combiner parts on her, like the feet and hands, just stuck to her ladder. Now you can take them off if you want, which is probably a good idea because they look kind of ugly on here. But she does have, like the set does have new hands and feet, which is good. And yeah, she's got her weapon on the end of the ladder, which does look like it could be a fire hose. So that works. You may notice the bucket is a bit of a head, which is unfortunate. Does not transform like Defensors does, unfortunately. But other than that, yeah, looking nice. Mostly red with a little bit of green. detailing, and yeah, some Cybertronian writing on the side. But all in all, looks good. Jumpstream, the Dead End repaint, or Wild Rider repaint, whichever you want. But yeah, not much else to say. It's the Dead End Prowl mold. Well, the Dead End variety. Looks really nice. Has a spoiler for a weapon, which is interesting. Should be a little further back to really be a spoiler, though. So it looks a little awkward where it is. But other than that, I do like it. Again, painted rims, really good. Fortunately, Pyromagna doesn't have him. So close. But yeah, everything you need is right there. And yeah, we looked at Stormclash and we looked at Skyburst. So yeah, we got the whole set here looking good. I do like the vehicle modes. I think they work out just fine. But this isn't going to be real interesting until we get them into robot mode. So I'm going to get to that. Okay, so here we have the ladies in robot mode, and they are looking gorgeous. Very nice uses of the molds, I'll admit that much. But yeah, let's take a look at these gals. So we'll start off with the helicopter twins, Skyburst and Stormclash, who are a lot easier to tell apart now that they're in robot mode. You know, Skyburst has the face with regular eyes, while Stormclash has the more visored face. And the face sculpts are pretty nice. Very lovely ladies, I'll say that much. And I like how they have individually molded chests. You can see the Autobot badge is actually on opposite sides, while molded detail is on the other. So that works out very nicely. Color-wise, they're pretty similar. Of course, their color schemes tend to mirror each other. So details on one will be on the opposite side of the other, and that works out nicely. For a quick comparison, let's bring in Alpha Bravo, because yeah, he's the original for this mold. And yeah, we'll just bring him in. It's a little awkward, I know, but let's see if we can... Yeah, as you can see, there are some significant differences. Zoom in a little better. Alpha Bravo has a more standard chest. And, you know, the remold is only a little bit tweaked, which is fine. The biggest difference will be in the arms, because these new fembots have new arms. All of them do, to give them more feminine hands. Well, all but Rust Dust, unfortunately. But as you can see, Alpha Bravo has the more missile-packed forearms, while Stormclash here has the fins from the helicopter. And, you know, that's about all the differences between the two. You know, it's not as severe as one would think. They only remolded just enough to really bring out the sense that they're female. And, you know, barely that. So, next up, we will take a look at Dust Up, who is a repaint / retool of Breakdown. Zooming in at her face. Very nice. I do like the paint detail that brings out her like Kamnian war paint or ceremonial paint or makeup, whatever you want to call it. But it is a very nice head sculpt. Very well done. Almost has an RC vibe to it. But yeah, you can see she's got a new chest plate and a big shield. Oh yeah, and new hands. So, for comparison, we'll bring in the G2 breakdown. So you can see the chest plates are different and the hands are different. And that's about all the differences between them. Well, the heads are different, obviously, but you know, that's kind of expected. But the rest of the parts are pretty much the same. So that's all there is to that. Still, I like Dust Up. She is very nice. And we'll bring in what, Jump Stream? Yeah, Jump Stream. Okay. Sorry, it's hard to remember these girls' names. But she was often compared to Nightbird because of the face. And if we bring in Legends Nightbird, just a minute, you can actually see the similarities, but there are some differences as well. Like mainly it's the mask that really brings out that Nightbird feel. So they probably could have repainted this into Nightbird if they wanted to. But yeah, it's not a perfect resemblance to Nightbird. Still, you got new hands, new chest plate like I mentioned, and a new weapon, that little blade thing. So let's bring in G2 styled Wild Rider, who I happen to have handy. And yeah, you can see the differences in the hands and the chest plate and the heads and the colors, I know, but yeah, you can see the differences. It's very subtle, you know, not severe, and that's fine. You know, I like that. And, you know, Jump Stream works pretty well. So next up, we'll bring in Rust Dust. Who's the smallest member of the crew. And she is a straight repaint of Groove. There is no differences in the molding whatsoever, which is unfortunate. I mean, yeah, it can work as a female, I suppose, but yeah, I would have liked a little remolding here and there, just to go with the rest of the team. But for comparison, let's bring in Groove, the Legends Groove. And yeah, you can see the similarities, the differences. It's all in the paint. So yeah, nothing too severe there. So last but not least, let's look at Pyra Magna. And she is very nice looking. Now, unfortunately, there was a factory error where the knees will not bend in, like, form the way they're supposed to. So she has only that far movement in her knees, unless you kind of mess with the transformation a bit. And that's unfortunate. Bludgeon had the same problem, if you remember, from my Thunder Mayhem review. But it's unfortunate. It's a flaw. However, given that this is the hotspot retool, it's nice that they gave him the heel spurs from Onslaught. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy she got Onslaught's heel spurs. That was very refreshing to see. And yeah, you can see elsewhere you got the new head, the new chest plate with a face on it, because I guess it's to worship Camnus or something like that. A very religious group, these Torchbearers are. Yeah, the group was called the Torchbearers, sometimes the Rust Renegades, uh, whatever you want to call them. They are pretty cool. But, yeah, let's get one more comparison in, and that's with Hotspot, of course. And yeah, you can tell the differences right off the bat. Those chest plates are different because of the knee issue. Pyromagna is a little taller than Hotspot. And of course the hands are a little different. Just the internal parts are molded differently, that's all. But that's it for robot modes. Let's get to the combined form. And here we have Victorion in her combined form. And before someone gets on the comments about how Rust Dust is arranged, I'll get to that. Just be patient. But yeah, we're taking a look at Rust Dust and not Victorion in the combined form. Just basically how I like to have her, with the two carbots as the legs and the two helicopters as the arms. Rust Dust is arranged how she is on the box, and how every single box art seems to want an instruction seems to want her placed on Victorion. Now, we all know that it fits more securely upside down, and you'll probably be able to see the head better from upside down as well, because yeah, it does tend to ride up a bit. So we'll just move in. But yeah, we'll take a look at the head. There we go. And the head sculpt is very nice. I like the blue visor. I like that you can see the eyes behind it. And the head is very regal looking. It's a very regal headdress looking helmet. And I do like it. All in all, the chest does look okay like this. I do like the fact that the Autobot symbol is right side up on there because of the way it is. And yeah, that would probably prevent me from doing it in a more secure way, even though that thing tends to fall off the way it is now. I'll admit to that. But yeah, all in all, she looks great. You can tell she has new hands, very dainty ones. And she has new feet that kind of have heels. Pretty cool. And yeah, she's the one of only two combiners that have that have hands and feet, at least in the US. The other one being Computron. And everybody wishes they would have released it hands and feet for everybody, myself included. Even though I do have perfect effect sets for most of my combiners. I still haven't gotten one for Computron yet, unfortunately. Nor have I gotten one for Thunder Mayhem. But that one I don't usually keep combined. But in any case, very nice. Articulation's the same as any other defensor, pretty much. You got the shoulders, the elbows, bicep swivel, hips, thigh swivel, knees, and yeah, a joint below the knee. So yeah, very basic articulation. I'm not gonna go around futzing with it because these combiners do have some trouble at times, although I will admit she is more solid than most. and especially this hip area, because this piece would pop out of Defensor or Bruticus or Thunder Mayhem very easily. This one, it's staying in place very securely. Oh yeah, and she does have ankle tilts, which is very nice. And she also has toe joints. So yeah, wider range of movement in those feet. And that is really nice. So now let's just get it down there so you can see what's going on. Yeah, very nice ankle articulation and toe articulation, very good. Hands can still open and close. You may notice, if I can bring the sword down a bit, zoom in. Unfortunately, the sword isn't going into the palm of the hand. It's actually going right above the thumb in a post, which can be disoriented if you look close up at it. And yeah, it got loose, I know. Yeah, that just does get loose, unfortunately. And that's because it's the way Hasbro and Takara seem to want to arrange the thing. But we'll get into comparisons now, and we'll bring in Defensor, because it's the proper mold to compare it to. And you can see on Defensor, I actually, even though this is the Unite Warriors Defensor, I put the Combiner Wars groove on there in the more secure orientation to really compare how they look. And honestly, I know the way groove is the more secure orientation, but I like how the orientation on Victorion is better. It just looks nicer to me. And so I think this, the way Victorion is, actually is better. So, at least from an aesthetic choice. Obviously, from practicality, Defensor is the proper way to go. But yeah, I'm going to go with aesthetic over that, so anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I do recommend Victorion. You can find her online still, probably about $60-70, which is fair enough. That'll work. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye out there, whatever you are.